Aho. Not Eşk Edine Ado Dinine. Welcome back to another episode here at Shanklin Shadow Productions. Yes, it's going to be another really great episode I have for you guys today. So, before we go ahead and get started, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys haven't yet, turn your notifications to all so you guys don't miss any posts or videos coming out of this channel. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this tale. Now, I have spoken about elementals briefly on some live streams, but I haven't really done a full video about them. I have done some previous investigations and gone to some certain ceremonies to where elemental spirits are present on location. Now, when it comes to elemental spirits, there's a lot that goes into them. And honestly, it's one of those spirits that I typically do not go out of my way to look for. It's one of those things that it's almost one of those natural-based spirits that they're busy and they have a job to do to make this world go round. When it comes to water, when it comes to fire, when it comes to earth, when it comes to air beings, when it comes to night beings and day beings, sun beings, and all these other beings that are out there, forest beings, when it comes to desert beings, when it comes to... There's so many different types of spiritual elemental beings that are out there. Now, the one I'm going to focus on one today. And the reason why I'm talking about this one is because we actually ran into this one last month, a couple weeks ago, because our house caught fire. So, this one... Today's episode, we're going to be speaking about fire elementals. Fire elementals, I guess you can, to help you kind of imagine what they are, it's a really good analogy of what a fire elemental is there's different types of kind of fire elementals that kind of spread out and branch out into their own species of fire. And consciousness, awareness, and ceremonies that they all do whenever it comes to being a fire elemental. And with this recent fire that we had at our home, it was very interesting for me because I'll talk about a couple different instances when I ran into fire elemental spirits. And this one I'm going to start out with is the most recent one. The recent event that happened at my house, my gift was... It was very interesting to be able to feel out and sense out the fire elements inside of the home here. And for us in our tribe, whenever you do have a fire that starts up inside of where you live, your dwelling, your home, your one like this, you're supposed to get a ceremony done. Because that spirit of that fire is still inside of the home. And so that could cause a number of different things. It can cause anxiety, it can cause unwariness, and also it's mainly for the patient and the victims of the fire in the house that kind of caught fire like this. And it's almost like how you say, like a cooling ceremony. It cools down the spirit of the home. And so it cools down the fire of it. Like how I always say, too, your home has a spirit that comes with it. And so when it comes to your home, it's alive. It breathes, it expands, it contracts, it protects you, it looks after you and your loved ones and everyone that lives inside of it. It nurtures and looks after everybody that's inside. It looks after you while you sleep to make sure you sleep good. And even when you have nightmares, your home is always going to be there to look after you and protect you. So when something like this happens, it's always very sad for us. And it was definitely sad for me and my family when this happened. So we had to go get a ceremony done. We called it a Hatashi, a medicine person that knows how to do that cooling of the home ceremony. And so he did the ceremony. And when he was there, it was very interesting because he started singing his protection songs, and I'm not going to go into full detail about the ceremony just for its sacred purposes, but when he was singing his songs and when he was doing what he needed to do, it was very interesting because when I was singing along with the songs that he was singing, I was closing my eyes, I was really listening into his songs that he was singing, and we had to repeat back what he was singing, and there was a flash that came inside of my mind, and it was a fire, it was a flame, it was that spirit of the fire that was at the house. But this one was very different from the fire spirits that we've actually encountered in the past on some investigations that we did. And because when it came to this fire spirit and the element of fire, it was just that. It was just flame. But it was not conscious. It was not, it didn't have any thoughts. It did not have any feelings of anger or anything tied to it. And so that's what we're talking about, is like that's where the fire that did happen at the home was not of evil intent, because the fire spoke to us, and it was all like, it didn't really speak to us, but it showed us who he was, who it was, and it was just fire. It was just flame. Now, if this was something that was of evil intent, say if it was sent by an evil person or what have you, and if it did have a message during that ceremony, that's when you would speak with it and it would speak back with you. And now that's where you would be able to pick up on, I have a message from so and so, don't do this, leave us alone, or how dare you, blah 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 blah. It gets in a big old monologue if it's like sent from evil. And then you pretty much coordinate the ceremony from there. But with this one, I saw it, and it was very interesting because it didn't have anything to it, but I did feel the energy of the home itself was scarred. It was hurt, and it was burned. And so that right there kind of showed me that it wasn't of any evil intent when it comes to that. And I just started praying for the home. I got really sad, and I was during that cooling ceremony, I was also praying to the fire spirit to kind of cool it down, because it was a couple days, a day or two after, but that fire spirit was still in the home. It was still raging. It seemed like it was still burning. Even though the physical fire was gone, the spiritual fire was still going, it seemed like. And so that's where that ceremony goes, to cool that down, to begin the healing of whoever was there, to their mind, so they don't have any nightmares about the fire. Everybody goes through the ceremony like that. Who owns the home, who was there, who helps out, everything that comes to it. And that's what we were all there for. And so that right there is just of fire and flame itself, the element of fire. And so it has its own sacred name. It has its own spiritual name too. There's a